Men really be out here being jealous of women getting treated like whores. They're like, why don't I get attention on my photo? Why don't people ask me to sell their asshole? I mean, why don't people ask me to sell my asshole to them? That's essentially what they're complaining about with that fucking meme I posted that I saw on my timeline about like when women get attention versus when guys, no, it was when girls work out and post a photo versus when guys work out and post a photo. This is the photo I am referencing. When men lose weight, crickets. Oh, nobody notices. Ooh. When women literally exist, oh my god, my queen, can you please sell me photos of your pussy? Please let me just see a pube, a single pube. And then you have the other faction men. It's not just like, oh, linked to our OnlyFans. They're also neglecting like the negative aspects of this. Like they neglect to mention the parts where there's like sour simps that'll be like angry that you don't sell them photos of your asshole. Like, you stupid fucking whore! You're a fucking bitch! You're a whore anyway for not selling pictures!
I believe that the grass is always greener on the other side when it comes to men and women. I think that men and women can both be jealous sometimes of the opposite sex and always thinking that the opposite sex has got it better than what they have. Okay. You get women that will complain about being sexually harassed wherever they go. And then you'll get guys who complain that men like don't get noticed unless they like bring something more than just their like looks to the table. Okay, you'll get women that will complain that they are seen as sex objects. You'll get men that complain that they are seen as success objects. Okay. You know, I listened to a debate one time between this Mikto guy and some woman, and he was going on and on about how women are privileged because of their sexuality. And this woman, you know, seemed to disagree with him. And he said, name one privilege that men have that women don't. And she said, well, men are physically stronger than women. And he said, that's not a privilege, that's a trait. Well, I would argue that the fact that women are designed to have a body that is sexually attractive to men and designed to be attractive looking, that is a trait, a biological trait that women didn't actually ask for either. Okay, now true that women will make the most of it and make their self look nice, but also men can make the most of their like fitness and make their self stronger. Now, if a woman says, well, you know, okay, we don't have to have this privilege. We can let ourselves go, you know, put on weight, don't shave our armpits, don't put makeup, you know, don't wear nice clothes or anything like that. Then these guys will get mad and say that there's no more feminine women anymore. They've got to go abroad so that they can find a more attractive woman. But guys who complain about what women's bodies are biologically designed to be like, it would be like women complaining that it's unfair that men are physically stronger than women, and there's a lot of like physical stuff that men can do that women can, okay? As I'm sure that there would be some women that would complain about that.
Oh, come on. You guys can pee standing up.
We can? Okay, I'm trying that.
Some guys, like, they will say that if a man is single, that he gets shamed for it, while a woman gets called strong and independent, okay? But then there are women that will say that they get pressured to, like, find a husband and, like, have a family while they're young when, like, men don't so much. Okay. Although, incidentally, these guys online who say, like, oh, if I want to go my own way and be a bachelor, that's nobody else's business, people shouldn't be telling us what to do, are normally the same guys that will then shame single women and call them crazy cat ladies and tell them they should get married as soon as possible. But anyway, men will complain that they get shamed, like if they're a virgin, that there's more stigma against men if they're a virgin, while women will complain that they're more likely to get slut-shamed than what men are. Okay. Although I would add, if you're one of the men that complains about being shamed for being a virgin, maybe you shouldn't then go on to slut shame women. Or if you're one of the women that complains about being slut shamed, maybe you should not then shame a man and call him a loser for being a virgin. I'm just saying, because some people will do that. Okay, alright. You get, with women, you'll get some women who say, like, if they want to be a homemaker, if they prioritize having a family, finding a man and having a family over career, that they feel that there's, like, a stigma attached to that, that there's a societal pressure to put career before family, and that if you're a stay-at-home mum, you'll get shamed and told that that's not a proper job. You also get women who, if they don't want to have children, will claim that they then get shamed for choosing not to have children, and will say, like, people will act like, as a woman, it is your place to have children, like that's the only thing that can make you happy, and try to tell you it's the wrong thing to do, like if you don't have children, okay? And they say, like, it was their business, they shouldn't be shamed for it. It's like, and again, I would add, right, if you're a woman who doesn't want to be shamed for being a homemaker or for being a stay-at-home mum, then maybe you shouldn't shame women, like, if they don't want to have children, or if they want to have children and a career. But also, I would say, if you're a woman who doesn't want to have children, and doesn't think that you should be shamed for that, maybe that you shouldn't shame women who do want to be homemakers, or who do want to, prioritize family over the career. Okay, so what I'm basically saying here, and this is like with both genders, is like, people, they always seem to think that they've got, like, the rough end of the stick sort of thing. Like, women will complain about patriarchy. Guys in the red pill community will complain about gynocentrism. There are women that will say that men are privileged, specifically white men. And there are guys that will say that women are privileged, okay? And some of them will again say white women, okay?
Sure, it's a tragic story, and indeed I do have sympathies for Petito and her family. But it's hard for me to forget that it's always tragic as long as we're talking about the fate of a pretty little blonde white girl. Meanwhile, there's a ton of other suffering in the world, most of it endured by men and boys of all shapes, sizes, and colors. And the media, as well as Nancy Grace's fabulously moral and compassionate audience, couldn't care less. Not that I particularly blame them. The media and its consumers are, after all, just a window into the values of a society. And for all the social justice bravado and inclusivity that this society loves to put on ostentatious display, it's still pretty little blonde white girls, and only pretty little blonde white girls who matter.
So, yeah, I tend to think that people are constantly, like, thinking that, like, men have got it better than women, women have got it better than men, and I kind of think we've all got our separate struggles, we've all got our separate issues. When it comes to judgment, we all get unfairly judged. I don't like nosy people. I mean, we're all going to be nosy at some point and judgmental at some point. It's human nature. But some people, like, think that they've got, like, some right to always stick their nose into your business and try to tell you what to do with your life. And more often than not, their life is a mess. But anyway, okay. I tend to think that if you pass a stranger in the street, whether they're a man or a woman, or gay, straight, black, white, whatever, you don't know what problems they've got, You don't know whether they were abused as a child, whether they've been diagnosed with some terrible illness, or whether they've lost loved ones, or, whether they've got mental health issues, whether they've been bullied. You don't know, like, whether they're in financial difficulty. You don't know, okay? Like, everybody's got their separate struggles. There's certain issues that, men have to, certain problems that men will have more than women, certain problems women will have more than men. But sometimes it's there's pros and cons. It's like, yes, women get more sexually harassed more often than what men do, but then, women do like to be noticed and look sexy. I'm not saying that means that they deserve to be sexually harassed. What I mean is like, men will then complain about how, like, oh, we don't get noticed, like, if we try to look nice, we have to offer more personality-wise, but then again, like, Well, women could say, well, at least you're judged more on your personality than what women are, okay? Because, like, a man doesn't have to be that good looking if he's got some charisma, charm, if he can be funny and all that. Okay, so there's pros and cons, and I kind of think that, like, instead of constantly, like, being jealous of the opposite sex and complaining about the opposite sex and always thinking that they've got it better, or like even within your own gender, it's like, yes, if you're a stay-at-home mum, there are some people that judge you, but then if you're a career woman with children, some people will judge you for not spending enough time with your children, and then if you're a woman who doesn't have children, there are people that judge you for that as well, okay? And then yes, men will be judged, you know, some men will be judged if they're a virgin. Well, not that you need to tell anybody, but you know what I mean. Like, there are certain things that men will be judged for worse than women, and certain things women will be judged for worse than men, and certain stresses and strains that both genders have. So maybe sometimes people could try to look at the positive and actually like being the gender that they are. Unless you want to transition, that's fine, but I'm just saying, if you're chosen to stay the gender that you are, you may want to actually look on the bright side and not, you know, spend your time, oh, men are privileged, oh, women are privileged, they have it better, we're the victim gender, no, we're the victim gender. Okay, that's all I've got to say about that.